Two-state solution in Palestine is just to legitimize the crime. That's about it. And once again, like the thief in this case, like the state of Israel is willing to sacrifice Jewish people, Jewish identity, Jewish legacy in order to maintain that crime. Like many people promote equality and justice in Palestine to be the end of the Jewish people, which is actually ridiculous because the state of Israel promotes Jewish people as people who are allergic to justice. You have equality, Jewish people will die. Like that's kind of a ridiculous stand that many people take seriously. It should not be taken seriously. The four systems imposed upon us produce the same things, but not experienced in the same way. Like the Palestine I'm surviving in Bethlehem is radically different than the Palestine my friends survive in Nazareth. Those two are very different than the Palestine my friends survive in Jerusalem. Those three are very different than the Palestine my friends survive in Gaza. And because you are talking about four systems of oppression that operate in four radically different ways. By conclusion, they produce the same, but the operation is different. It's like, you know about colonialism, right? The Britain in Jordan was different than the Britain in India. So an Indian person survived British, colonialism, British civility in a different way than those in Jordan. For us, within that limited space of land, we survive Israel's savagery in four different ways. Gaza is a concentration camp of refugees, is relevant to nearly 30% of the residents of the West Bank. Because in the West Bank, 30% of the population are expelled Palestinians. How do you see Gaza in the West Bank? You look at Jenin refugees camp. You look at Tulkarm refugees camp. You look at Jalazon refugees camp. You look at Dheisha refugees camp. Those are like refugees camps. And a Palestinian refugee is a Palestinian who's robbed of everything. So his expression of rejection of Israeli criminal behavior is higher than a Palestinian family that did not lose everything. Gaza is 75% refugees. So of course the expression of rejection has to be higher. We're not made to reject Israel's savagery because we hate Jews. It's just we are being robbed of everything. And I think that helps a little bit. So it's not the psyche, it's the experience, the conditioning. If we are going to talk about psychological aspects, like we are all damaged. When Israeli apartheid collapsed and the Nuremberg trial for Israeli criminals is set up, all psychiatrists on the planet will not be enough. And that is serious because the psychological damages actually make us even envy one another. So because a Palestinian in Nazareth lives in a better concentration camp than a Palestinian in the West Bank, the one in the West Bank wishes to be there. It's like if you're in prison where you're not allowed to eat more than a meal a day, you will always wish to be sent to a prison where you can have 3 meals a day. If you're there, you'll wish you are in a prison where you have 3 meals a day and airco in your prison cell. But you are in prison nonetheless. Those are the psychological damages that we sustain as we actually grow to survive Israeli control. Also, once again, in every subject, there's a lot to be said. I'm known for not being able to give short answers.